Hey there, YouTube friends. I'm the only Sir Cracker, and this is a good day. This is what I've got harvested so far out of the garden. And speaking of which, I'm in the garden. Today is September 28th, and the sun is shining, which has not been the case for the last week or so. It's been pretty overcast and raining, and getting down into the low 40s, even I think it was even about 38. I think it was 38 a couple days ago. So it's getting really, really cold at night. So I thought, you know what, might as well go ahead and shoot me a quick little video here and show you what I've got going on. This is one harvest. This I harvested just recently here, and I mean this is nothing in comparison to what I've got. So these tomatoes here, as you can see, it's getting cold at night, so they're kind of splitting a little bit, which is something you want to pick them before they start splitting, because once they split, I mean, they're really not good for much of anything. This one here is split, so when I go to can this, I'll end up having to cut that piece out. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, I'm the only Sir Cracker, and this is my garden. Hey! Alright, well, I'm the only Sir Cracker, and that was a quick update. Hey there, this is the only Sir Cracker, and I'm coming to you from the front yard today. It's the only Sir Cracker. Guess what? I knew the camera was on the entire time, because I'm having fun. Alright, so I'm back. Haha. And today I am going to cut back the Peter Pepper. This is the Peter Pepper, and it's looking okay. It could be a little bit better, but it has not put out any flowers at all this year. I've mentioned that a few times. And, you know, I've kind of come down to the conclusion that what the problem here is it just needs a longer growing season. So what I'm going to end up doing with this plant is I'm going to hack it back real tight, and I'm going to uproot it, and we're going to wash all the roots off, and I'm going to replant it in some really nice potting soil, and I'm going to try to overwinter this. I'm going to try to overwinter it. And then that way next year it'll already have a year's worth of growth on it, and maybe next year I will get some flowers on it. So that's the plan. So let's get started. Here's our Peter Pepper. Now, I want to, first off, before I get started, I want to apologize for any really bad video shooting. It is so incredibly sunny and bright out here right now, I cannot see what I'm shooting on the screen. So please bear with me, and let's go ahead and move this up to the table so we can get to it. Now, right now, this is in a 3-gallon pot. There we go. It's in a 3-gallon pot. It's a pretty good size. I mean, that from the soil line up, I would say that's almost 24 to 26 inches. So not too bad. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the stake, which it just did not need. You know, I find the pepper plants, they don't really need to be staked. That's kind of what I'm finding. But yeah, so there's that. That's Peter Pepper. Peter yellow pepper. So these actually are supposed to be yellow. So what we're going to do, I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed here. It's going to look, let me grab my scissors are hiding down here on the ground. Okay, this is going to be kind of drastic, or at least actually it is. It's going to be really drastic. But it's okay, because what's going to happen is this thing is going to grow back very well. So what I want to do, if you pull all those leaves back, you can see here there's one main stem coming up, and then I have a couple of little ones coming off of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hack this thing back, and I want to go pretty far here. So I'm going to go right here. I don't know if you can see, hope you guys can see this. There's a little node right below where my scissors are, and I'm going to go ahead and just snip it. And it's really thick flesh. And that's it. That's what I'm taking off. There's that one. Now, I've got this one up here. So I'm trying to decide. I think, you know what? I think I want just one stalk. I don't want two. I don't know. That's a good question. See, here's another stalk over here. There's one here. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's keep this one and snip that one back. And then we've got this one here. It's kind of growing inwards. So let's go ahead and snip that off. And this one's not bad. This one's growing out. So we'll go ahead and cut it. I'm going to cut all of these leaves off. I don't want any of the leaves. What happens if you keep all the leaves on the plant, what it's going to end up doing is holding on to any bugs or infestation that you may or may not have. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that back too. And this is just going to be very drastic. I've got a few little nodes down here. Nothing major. You know, this one's really hard to see if I even want to cut it. There's a little node in there. I don't know. I might leave that one. If it falls off, it falls off. See, this is a leaf that can go. This is another little growth point here. I'll go ahead and keep that, I guess, but I'm going to cut these bigger leaves off of it. And then there's this one, and its first growth is here, but I don't want to. I'm going to cut it all the way back too. And you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to go ahead down here and cut this. You're thinking, oh my gosh, he's cutting it back. He's just killed that plant. Well, I've left there's a couple of growths up here on the top. There's one down here. So this plant, believe it or not, is actually going to recover major. I mean, it's going to explode. And what the whole point or the whole goal here, I just want to overwinter it. So I want it to be strong. I want it to grow. Now, it's not going to grow a lot between now and spring. I mean, it might get bushy a little bit, but that's about it. It's not going to go insane. But I want the stalk to be nice and strong. That's the whole purpose here, is to make this trunk really thick and strong, almost like a tree. Once it's nice and strong, then when the fruit, it does put fruit on, it'll be really sturdy. It'll be able to really hold all that fruit, and it won't tip over because it'll have this really nice, thick, strong root base. So that is the point. Oh, look here. We have an earthworm. Now, earthworms are okay. I do not personally like them in my home, in my pots. That's another reason why I'm going to unroot this, and we're going to put it into a new pot. So this is the part here that gets a little bit messy. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here's my funky hose. I love this thing. I did a review on this just a little while ago, and I want to show you. So I got the water coming from the house across the fence line here, and then it's coming down here. But I want to show you. This is really cool. Watch this. Isn't that awesome? Oh, it's going to get me. It's going to get me. Isn't that the coolest thing? And boom, instantly. I mean, it just major expanded here into a full-size hose. That's just awesome. I love it. Okay. So, water is my best friend right now. And if you can see, the pot is really dry. So I want to get the soil fairly moist. What this is going to do, actually, is going to help loosen everything up so I can just pull it out. So let me go ahead and move my scissors here out of the way and move some of these things out of the way here. So yeah, it's gonna help me get the roots out just by loosening up the water and or using the water to loosen up the soil. I mean, just gonna let it soak through. As you can see, I put the table on an angle so it'll drains right off the table, and it drains away from the direction that I'm standing. So, but I want to water this down really good. Don't want to be afraid to get it wet, and really get in there. So, okay, Now on to the next part. All right, I had to go and get my trusty trowel. I love this trowel. It is, I found it somewhere, I don't remember where, but it's solid aluminum. I mean, it's thick. It's really nice. So this is going to do the job just fine. Now, I'm not trying to get the dirt out of the soil or the soil out of the pot. All I'm trying to do is loosen it up and be able to rinse off the plant. So there's going to be some root loss here. That's a given, but that's okay. It doesn't need as many roots as it had before, being the fact that I just eliminated pretty much all of its leaves. So I'm trying to get up underneath here just a little bit and kind of give it the idea that it needs to come up out of the ground. You know, it's going to fight me a little bit, but then again, you know, you'd fight me too if I told you had to leave your home that you've been in for as long as you can remember. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of loosen that up a little bit. Get a little bit more water in here up inside the cracks where I was just at. Kind of want to make this almost a soupy mess, really. Because what that's going to do for me is it's just going to allow the dirt to fall right off the roots. So, not too much. Just kind of play with it, you know. There we go. It's kind of coming up a little bit here. Yeah, getting a soupy mess. Just what I like. This table's almost wanting to fall over. There we go. All right, now the plant is loose. It's no longer connected to the bottom of the pot. I'm just gonna go in there and kind of suggest that it needs to come clean. Now, this would be a little easier if I didn't have my hand on my camera, but you know what? In order for me to share this with you, unfortunately, that's what I have to have. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to make a little bit of a mess in the dirt or in the grass here. I didn't really want to, but it's the only way at this point. No, Cleopatra, back up. She really wants to get in here. She loves playing in water. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to wash as much of this dirt off. This is where the bugs... Thank you. I got it. Brrr. My water. This is where the bugs and the stuff want to hide, is here in the roots. So, come on, Cleopatra. Hey, go lay down. Go lay down. Thank you. This is where all the bugs and the worms and all the nasty stuff wants to hide. Now, I did just recently have to bring the jalapeno, the purple jalapeno, out of the basement. I didn't do it quite as well as I probably should have. And I got me some, oh gosh, what are they called? For some reason I can't remember. They're not gnats. They're not whitefly. Huh. I just got these little teeny white bugs just recently that were on my all of the buds and the flowers of my purple pepper. And this is the process that I went through a second time with that. I did it once, and now I had to do it a second time. Then I also used a little bit of soapy water, which is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to spray it down also with a little bit of soapy water. And what that does is it kind of clogs the what's it called? It clogs up the bugs. It makes them so they can't cause trouble, basically. It kills them off, and yeah. So, anyways, that in itself is a whole different process. But I'll show you that here. I think maybe just a little bit. So there we go. So I'm almost done. I've got a few chunks here of some compost that was in there, chunks of wood and and see little pieces of dirt and stuff. And you know, I mean, you could sit here and be anal retentive and get it absolutely perfect if you want to, which absolutely doesn't hurt, you know, to get it perfect. You know, get every little thing off, because any piece of like this here, any piece of wood could have some sort of fungus or some sort of bug or something on it, where outside here in the yard there's all kinds of predators that eat those gnats and bugs and different things, and so they kind of keep each other, you know, they kind of keep each other under control. Unlike inside the house, you know, one little bug could just go crazy. You know, it's like gnats and that kind of thing. You know, there we go, and that's it. It's all washed off. Now all I gotta do is repot it and put it in the house and let it grow. So I will probably, once I get this potted, I will probably spray this with a little bit of soapy water, and that's just like Dawn or some sort of like regular kitchen dishwashing liquid, basically. Just maybe a drop to I don't know, not much, one drop to a quart of water. And then you put that on your plants, and it's perfect. So, all right, now I'm just going to go ahead and repot it. Now the question is, that's a really small root base. What size pot should I put it in? I was thinking about a 1 gallon, but I don't know. I don't want too much growth. So let me go and see what I can find. All right, so I'm looking here in my shed, and I see a couple. These are the 1 gallon pots that I was seriously thinking about using, and they're not bad. They're probably about 10 inches across, and you know, they're just a 1 gallon pot, and you know, I might just use that. I'm gonna keep looking here and see if I can find another pot that might be a little bit smaller. Okay, so I'm out in the garage, and this looks like another bucket. I could probably use that, but that might be too big. And then I have another pot there. Not a whole lot of options at this point that I'm seeing. Yeah, the other option I have, oh, where's that? I got rid of them. I can get a couple of 2-liter bottles and make a self-watering container. That might work. Hey, look, down here in my pantry, I found some 2-liter bottles that we were using for water storage. We have emptied them out. I could cut those and turn those into a planter. That's definitely something worth thinking about. Yeah, if I was to do that, this is pretty much what it is that I'd be looking at for planting that Peter pepper. And I think I might be able to move some of this around a little bit and have some room in here for it. I think that is what I might do. Problem is I don't have any of the green, which I like the green because it helps keep the moss and stuff off, or not moss, but the algae and stuff off, and keep that from growing on there. So, and this is another option. You know, you can reuse a coffee container. You know, there's things that we can do. So I think I'm gonna go this route. I'm gonna take one of those and cut it up and use that. Oh, there you are. I thought I lost you for a minute. Well, at least I found you. Hey, I want to show you this. So take a look here. So I got just a regular Pepsi, Diet Pepsi jar. Now not jar, 2-liter bottle. This is my favorite drink of choice. It's the only one that I can drink, really. But anyways, that beside the point. All right, so I still got the lid on it. The lid is definitely very important at this moment in time. I will take the lid off and probably put a rock or something down below. So when I cut this, I got a knife. I don't exactly want to cut right in the middle. I don't think. I think I want to cut it. I think I want to cut it just on the other side of the middle, probably about 1 inch away from the center of it. So then that way, That way I'll have a little bit more space for the roots and won't have to retransplant it before spring. Hopefully. I have a feeling I'm going to have to anyways. So I left the lid on, and the reason why I left the lid on is that way I got pressure to push against when I stab my knife in. Otherwise, it's going to collapse and it's going to bend and be all funky and that kind of stuff. And then I'm not really too worried right now about the paper. You can take it off, leave it on. I've done both. It's not important. So then all I do is I just stab it, just like that. And then I cut it. And when I cut it, I want to try to cut it as perfectly round as I possibly can. You don't want to have any sharp edges if you can avoid it, because then your hand is going to probably end up rubbing against those, and that doesn't feel all that good. But for the most part, this is a pretty easy process. It's a little easier to do on a table than, of course, out here in the yard with you, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna have to fix this a little bit. Oh damn! See, now I've ruined it. I'll still use it, but it's easier to, like I said, it's easier to do if you're on a table. And so I'll just trim off all these little sharp edges. This one here is pretty bad. I kind of cut into it too much, but not too big of a deal. I just gonna go in here and see. In 1 second, let me trim it without cutting myself. That's the hard part. So the top isn't going to be perfect, but you know what? It's fine for what we need it. So, another piece of garbage. You hold on to that for me. That'd be great. All right, so then I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. Now, like I told you, this is just an old one that we've used in the past. I guess I could have left that on, help keep the sunlight from getting to it and giving us moss, but that's okay. Here's a little bit more. If you hold that for me, that'd be great. And then here's the base. Now, I don't know. May have cut it too shallow. Yeah, it's okay. So what's going to happen? It's not going to hold it in place quite as well. Maybe I should have cut it in half, but at least my pot, this is my pot, and at least this is going to be a little bit bigger. So that can sit on there. It's holding it, for the most part, it's holding it in place. I can get a little bit of tape or something and maybe put around it, help hold it up. You can be, oops, kind of dropped that on the floor. You can be a little bit inventive here. It's, it's not rocket science. Here, hold that for me. Thanks. It's really not rocket science. Oh, let me hand it to you the right way. You just do, So I take the lid off. Now I've got a big hole in the bottom. And normally when you have a hole in the bottom like that, you want to put a rock or something inside here. Let's see what I can find. I got tons of rocks and stuff around here. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Here's one right. Yeah, there's one right here. Here's some work. Okay. I can't see. This might be a little bit big. But so I just take just a rock. It was in the flower bed here, and we'll put that down in. See if that'll work. Maybe it might be too big. What I'm trying to do, yeah, I think that one's too big. Let me find a smaller one here. Oh, here's a little piece of lava rock. There you go. You can use lava rock. Perfect. And all I want to do is make sure that the soil doesn't fall through the hole and clog my trough down to the bottom, because I'm going to put water in this, and then it's going to feed the water up. So, all right. So, and I got that done. Now I'm going to put some soil in it, which I could use that, but that has been outside, and it's got a lot of bugs and stuff in it. So, I think I'm going to go get some potting soil. Stay there. I'll be right back. Hey, I got some potting soil. It's over there. Come. See this. Hey, thanks for joining me. I hope you can you see what I'm doing. Oh, great. I got the dog. She's going to knock the camera over. Back off. Okay. Stay back. Okay. So I got some potting soil. It was out in the garage. It's kind of rock hard, so I'm going to touch it just a little bit. Ooh, it's dusty. I'm going to touch it a little bit. Back up. I hate having the dog outside when I'm on the ground. All right, so That should be good. Get a little water in there, and they can actually do something with it. Oh, darn. What did I do with my rock? I just had my rock. Well, the best part about living where I do, I have plenty of rocks. Let's see. Rock. Ooh, what's that? That's too big. There we go. That'll work. Okay. Found a rock. Okay, so here's my rock. I'm gonna put it down there in the bottom. Now, the trick to this, I don't want it to close up that hole completely. So there we go. I don't want it to close up the hole completely. I want it to just hold the soil back a little bit. This actually, I'm looking at this. This really looks sandy. This is very light, sandy kind of soil. That's okay. It was probably from like it wasn't a cactus. That's all right. It's not the biggest deal. There's some stuff in here, but so what I'm doing, I'm gonna put that in like that. Let's see, I wonder how far down I should go. Let's see. Yeah, this might work just fine. I want it to be a little on the root bounty side because I don't want to promote any growth. That is really the trick to this whole thing. I don't want a whole lot of root growth. Actually, I'm going to bring it up a little higher. Root growth at this point in time, we're going into the winter, and it's going to be colder months and that kind of stuff ahead, and root growth is not really, I don't know. Not just root growth. I don't want it to grow too much. So if the roots are a little bit more confined, it'll be just fine, I think. So, yeah. Okay. I think that's about, well, maybe a little bit more. There we go. All right. And then we'll go ahead and try putting this in again. I want to make it up a little bit higher. I don't want it to be too low in the pot, and I don't want it to be too high in the pot. Because when I go to water this plant, I want it to have the water, but I want it to work. I want it to put the roots down below too and work for it. As you can see, all the roots are going to be on one level, which is fine for me. I'm totally okay with it being root bound. I mean, this plant's going to go into it's going into shock anyways, because not only have I uprooted it, but I've also, it's really hard. Not only have I uprooted it, but I've also cut all the growth off of it. So it's going to go. It's going into shock. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. And honestly, I'm just playing around. I mean, if this thing doesn't survive, I'm totally okay with that. It's not the end of the world, I'm okay with it if it dies on me. I'm just kind of playing around and seeing what I can do for fun. If I can get it to come back next year, that'd be great. If not, I got some seeds still left over from. No, I don't. Now I'm remembering. This was not something from seed. But I know where I got it, and the lady that I bought this from, I'm sure will be more than happy to grow some more for me. So, and all I'm doing, I'm just tamping it down. I'm not gonna go hardcore with the tamping. I just kind of about as hard as you want to push on your eyeball without it hurting. So not too crazy. I'm repotting it back into the pot at the same height it was. Ooh, how did that get turned over? I made a mess. The same height it was when it was in the other container. So, and this is a sandy soil, so it'll dry out fairly quick, which might be good actually, because what happens with a lot of pepper plants and stuff is they grow in the south and in the desert and that kind of stuff where it's a little bit more sandy, sandy soil. This one, you know, looking at it, it's kind of sandy, but it might also be a little bit kind of a clay thing going on too. So, all right, well, that's pretty much it. Just kind of let it drain on its own, and that's what we have to work with. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this thing a really good water, and we're gonna leave it. And I'm gonna put it on my windowsill. Pretty much forget that it even exists. That's really the trick here to the whole thing. Just kind of forget that it's even there. It'll surprise me. I know it will. Come Christmas time, this thing is gonna just blossom and bloom and just be crazy as heck. So, all right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything. I can give you kind of a quick tour if you want. Here, let me. All right. So, if you want to go ahead and stand up with me here, I'll give you a quick tour of what's going on. Like I said, this is the end of September, and we got a nice bountiful harvest. That's all the trimmings that I took off the pepper. I'm going to end up putting those in the compost pile. So I planted some peas here just randomly. Didn't really want to give a whole lot of thought. I'm getting some little pea pods. Yeah, some pretty flowers. I'm not expecting a whole lot. Of course, the rhubarb it's pretty much dormant now. And all that, what you see is green, will all just fall and die. And then it'll come back in the spring. So, hey, I thought I asked you to hold on to the knife and stuff for me. Well, that did me a whole lot of good. Thanks. Gosh, now I'm going to have to take it in and put it away for myself here. All right, so I got a couple of little crookneck squashes. The dog hasn't gotten to them yet. They're kind of cute. There's another one there. Another little baby in here, I think. So, not bad. There was 3, and I think one of them probably died or something. Because there was another one, but I'm not seeing it. So, that's okay. All my cucumber plants are all pretty much done for. I have, these, which I can get the seeds out of now. They're all dried up and crazy. There's this guy down here. This is my last one. I'm going to harvest this for the seeds so I can plant this variety again. I absolutely loved this variety. It was fantastic. So, and these are all dead. They're all gone. That's what happens. So my cherry tomatoes, you see their yellowness. This is all actually, this isn't blight or anything like that. This is just because it's getting so cold at night, it's starting to go dormant. Which is funny because it's putting on brand spanking new growth, brand new flowers. And then this is the purple pepper, or not purple pepper. This is the yellow lemon pepper. This is the lemon pepper. And it just doesn't like the cold nights. So the plant has completely died, or at least it's in the process of dying. There's a few peppers still on it. I'll harvest them and go ahead and dry them. I'm having bug problems. This plant would have done great, but it's just not having a good time. And then next to that's my strawberries, and they're flowering again and putting on fruit. But I haven't had a chance to eat them. They're not the best of fruit, so I'm just letting it grow for now, see what happens. And if you look back there, you can see a ton of yellow marigolds. I mean, they're just exploding now. Everything says the thing about the fall is all your plants think it's another spring. So it starts to grow again. Everything's wet and happy. And look, see here, there I still have, more peppers that I haven't picked yet. I mean, they're just all over. And see how limp this leaf is? This is telling me I need to water it. So as soon as I'm done with you guys here today, I am going to water my pepper plants and my tomato plants a little bit. But, yeah, not too bad. my first ladies, they're putting more fruit on. You know, it'll just keep going until we get our first frost, pretty much. And when the first frost hits, it'll be done for. And then the pumpkin, this pumpkin is looking sad. It's been sad all year. I put this metal wire fence up to keep the dog from getting to it, but I've got this little one here. And actually, you know what? I think it's dead. I don't think it's going to grow anymore. Just haven't had the luck this year. But like I was talking to somebody. I think it was Ian on YouTube. There, I'm not putting it in a pot next year. I'm going to put it in the ground and grow it like everybody else does, and not try to be innovative. The whole purpose of this was just to get it up off the ground. So the dog wasn't going to trample it and kill it, and I'd have more space to be able to mow the lawn and that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. And then my mess and the dog. Oh, quick, let me show you over here too, because I've got corn growing, a lot of it. I have like eight ears of corn on here. It's not too bad, but it's doing good. Like here's one, there's two, and back here I've got a nice big one, 3 and 4, and then here I've got 5, and let's see, 6, 7, and there's 8 down here, and I think there's another one right there that's trying to grow. So there's that. I've harvested this already. Just recently, within like last week, and now it needs to be harvested again. It's growing again. The basil is going to need another trim. The rosemary is going to need another trim. The carrots, are looking absolutely amazing. So that's going to be good for like Thanksgiving dinner if I can keep them on there long enough. So, and then the onions, actually, they're doing really good. They're still standing up nice and strong, so they're not quite ready to be picked yet. So probably I'm thinking maybe next couple of weeks, they'll start to fall over and not want to participate, and then we'll look at it and think about that. So that's all of this. And then over here I've got some cabbage. The cabbage is not looking the best. Here's a head. This is nice. Look at that. I might. Ooh, something's getting to it. I should harvest this. That's about as best as I'm gonna get, I think. And then parsley's looking okay. I've got some pea pods in here. I actually grew some peas for the peas themselves, so I can plant them again next year. So that's what this is growing for. I'm just kind of letting them letting them harden up and do their thing. These are swelling up really nice. So, and I've eaten a couple of them off of this little plant, and it tastes absolutely amazing. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, that's pretty much it. I am the only Sir Cracker. I'm coming to you from my backyard, my garden, and I wish you all the best for the growing season to come. I have a lot of planning and ideas that I'm going to come up with, and I will share those with you. So, I'm almost thinking this is probably going to be my last or one of my very last videos for this year. Everything is pretty much harvesting and dying off. I may do one more video just to kind of show you of everything I've got canned in canning jars and that sort of thing. But for the most part, the garden is pretty much done. It's dwindling down. I might have another 3 weeks to go or so at the most, and then it's all pretty much going to be dead. So, for the most part, I've learned a lot this year. It's been a really nice journey to be able to bring you along for the ride. It's been fantastic. It's been absolutely amazing. I've learned a lot just having you here with me. I hope in the years to come that this series here in my garden will continue year after year. And I hope that as people watch my older videos, that they continue to leave comments and like them and share them and subscribe to my channel. Give me ideas and suggestions on how I can better my channel and do different things. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, I might have, yeah, I'll have one more video. And then that'll be it for this year. It's just, it's my first year. My real first year having an actual garden again. And it's been years and years. And, I've had my dilemmas where I cannot grow in the ground, really. I can't rip up the grass. I rent here. I'm a renter. And so my landlord has been very nice to allow me to have my 55-gallon barrels in the back. Nice to let me have, a little raised bed there, which I've been thinking about it. I think that raised bed's coming out. It just isn't practical. It's in the shade all the time. It's not growing anything. So there's a lot of things that are going to change next year. I think I might put in the last 5 barrels and finish that off. I've done it in the past where I've had 2 plants side by side like that, and they've grown just fine. However, I think this coming year in 2015, I think it's going to be 1 plant per barrel. We're going to basically treat it like the square foot gardening situation and just do 1 plant per barrel. So, anyways, I am the only Sir Cracker, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and happy growing. Hey there, I'm the only Sir Cracker, and you just finished watching my video. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching my videos. And please leave comments. Tell me what you like, don't like, what you'd like to see more of. If there's something that just kind of made you think of something, whatever it is, please let me know in the comments box below, or join me in our discussions on my main page. Also, thumbs up is always welcome, and so is subscribing. So, anyways, like always, I am the only Sir Cracker, and this is a great day for a picnic, don't you think? See you next time. Bye.